Hey darlings, welcome back to my no. Welcome back to my what, sweetie? Hey darlings, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome. Thank you so much for coming back and for becoming a subscriber and a Vlogian. If you're new here or if you're just passing by, welcome. My name is VULO and I hope that you enjoy my content. Stick around and stay tuned to more Vlogian greatness. So today I'm going to be showing you how I achieve my signature everyday look and in the process cover up my acne scars or hyperpigmentation, as well as how I achieve my flawless base. So if you're interested in watching and learning how to achieve this everyday basic look, keep watching. Okay, so the first thing you want to make sure of is that you're starting off on a clean canvas. So if you need to, you can wipe down your face or you can go through your skincare routine. I also sometimes like to go over my face with a wet wipe or just take some micellar water on a cotton pad and just go over my face with that, and I feel like that sort of clears your canvas so that you're starting off from scratch and you're good to go. The first step that's my go-to is to use a face mist. So you can use any face mist. You can even use setting spray for this. I use the Swiitch Beauty Superhero Spray, the Glass Skin Edition. I've been really loving this stuff. I've been obsessed with this stuff. It is amazing. So first things first. So we make sure that our skin is hydrated. You can pat that in. And then I like to go in with any mattifying primer. I've been loving this black Opal oil blocking gel primer that I got a couple of months ago. I actually got this for my birthday. It was one of the things that were emptied out of my cart and I'm about to run out actually, so I need to restock. What I've noticed about this though is that a little really does go a long way. So I generally start with my brows, so I'm quickly going to do my brows off camera and then I'm going to come back and continue with the base tutorial. So I've got the bases of my brows done, so I'm going to quickly go in with my LA Girl HD Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn on my under eye this side. This is just to patch up any dark circles. There's absolutely nothing wrong with dark circles, by the way, but in order to obtain or to attain a more flawless look in my base, this is what I do. And then I also recently started sort of correcting using the same shade of concealer. And I'm supposed to use the orange shade, but this is what I have for now, so this is what I've been using. So then I also use the same concealer to cover up some of my spots. And then under my eyes, I use a damp beauty blender. I use my Real Techniques beauty blender to sort of blend that out. And then with a Real Techniques face brush, I just go in on my around my mouth to blend that out. And I don't blend too much, but just enough. And then on my spots, I just pat it in just so that it's not so stark, since this color is lighter than my actual foundation shade. So I don't want it to stand out under my foundation. So I just pat it, not quite blending it, just patting it so that it's not as stark. So there I've basically concealed my acne scars. I don't have that much acne scarring anymore, but I used to have quite a lot, especially around my cheekbones, because that's where I had most of my acne, and around my forehead. But on my forehead, I don't really have much that I need to conceal, but I do like to conceal around my chin, which is also usually where I get my hormonal acne when it's about to be that time of the month. Ciao. Right, so now that we've concealed, corrected, and sort of set the foundation for the foundation. So we've set the base for the foundation, we can actually go in with the foundation. Now my current fave, which is I think my summer shade, I think I've got it on lock that this is my summer shade, is the Revlon Candid foundation in the shade Pecan or 530. This is what I use during the summer, which is slightly different from what I use in the winter, which is the matte finish, still Revlon, but the matte finish in the shade what is my shade? Spice 513. Yeah. Oh, before I forget, so what I also do is I go in with my Candid, my Revlon Candid setting powder in the shade 3. Does it have a name? No, it doesn't have a name. No, but it's shade number 3. Last I checked, it was the darkest shade that they had, and I just use that to set on my eyes where I have concealed. So when I tidy up my brows, I also conceal my eyes, because my eyes, if you're dark skinned, most people really, this part of your eyes is going to be darker than the rest of your face. So I like to conceal that as well to sort of correct it. And now in order to avoid the creasing, it's already started creasing actually, just a little bit. In order to avoid the creasing, I like to set it with powder before carrying on with the rest of my face. So I take a bit of powder, there, blow some off, and just set it, just so that it stays in place. Just like that. And you can already see the difference. See how smooth that is versus that side. See the difference? Okay, so now that both of my eyelids are set, we can go in with the foundation. I've gone in with about 1.5 pumps. I found that with this foundation, a little does go quite a long way. So there's no need to go in heavy. And also of late, I've found that blending my foundation in with a beauty blender versus a brush has actually helped me get a more flawless finish. I know, I said that would never be me. I know, before you guys pull out receipts, but it is what it is. So I just apply it around and some on my nose. And then, so I do my face in quadrants. I do this no, actually not quadrants, in thirds. I do this third first, and then this third, and then my forehead. So by all means, if you find that you blend in your foundation better with a brush, you can of course go ahead and use a brush. It's just that of late, I've really been enjoying using a beauty blender as opposed to a brush. Now, if you feel like your foundation looks, especially with the Candid range, if you feel like it looks a bit light on your skin, don't worry. Number one, it is still going to set on your skin and settle in. And number two, we're still going to contour and sort of warm up the face, so don't stress. So I also at this point like to go back into my concealer and then do the top of my brows. So next up, again with the HD Pro Concealer, the Illegal HD Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn, I'm just gonna go on the outer side of, or the outer side rather, of my under eyes, and just highlight there. And then I'm going to go in with my Revlon Colorstay concealer in the shade Deep or 60. Now the reason why I use 2 highlighting concealers as opposed to 1 is because I like how it creates a sort of gradient from the inner corner eye onto the way I'm going to be contouring with the bronzer as well as the contouring concealer. And I'll show you in a bit. So I'm going to be using my Revlon Colorstay concealer in the shade Espresso or 80 to be contouring. Now this dries quite quickly, so I do it like bit by bit. So I do this side first, or whichever side first, and then I go on to the rest of my face. And I do this in an upward motion, so towards the highlight. I feel like that also helps with the gradient. And I do a bit of this. Chisel them bones, honey. Them cheekbones. Chisel them cheekbones, not the bones, sorry. And then I also like to go along my jawline, you know, just to give that extra oomph along my jawline. And then what I like to do is I like to use whatever's left on my brush to start the contour on my nose. So it's not too much. You see, it's already like doing a little something something. And then I usually alternate between my LA Girl HD Pro powder in the shade Banana, as well as my Candid powder in the shade number 3, depending on the type of look that I'm going for. And so for this particular look, I'm going to be using my Banana powder. So just pat that upside down. And there's just enough for you to use. Now I have oily skin, so I don't dust it off. I just pat it in using the blender. So as you can see now, my face is like taken shape. Not that I have a shapeless face. Nobody has a shapeless face, but yeah. And then I go in with my Swiitch Beauty hashtag actual cheekbones contour palette. And this is in the shade, it's the duo pan contour. What? It's the duo pan powder contour, my gosh, in the shade number 3. And this is what it looks like. So I usually go with both shades and I just dust it off a bit. And then I just go in. Not too much. And then again on my nose, what's left over. We're almost done. So I also go back into the powder and then I just cut a little line there. I feel like that chisels the cheekbones a little bit more. And then you can dust that off almost immediately. But you see, it still has a lasting effect. Now, I don't always use blush, but you know, for the purpose of this video, I'm a blush, you know. I use the Revlon powder blush in the shade Very Berry, or shade number 33. When I say a little goes a long way with this stuff, a little really does go a long way. So I literally just do this, dust it off, and then rosy cheeks. And I love this blush brush. It is called, oh, it's actually called a powder brush, but I use it for blush, from Real Techniques as well. These Real Techniques brushes, by the way, are all available from Clicks. I usually, they're not necessarily on the pricier side of life, but I mean, I've been a student, so I usually wait for the 3 for 2 sale and then I buy them. No shame whatsoever. And then I like to go in with a little bit of highlighter, and for this I use the Foschini Beauty All Women Goddess Eye Color Palette, and yeah, it's the Bronze Goddess Eye Color Palette. And I use a brush like this, or sometimes I'll use a similar brush like this, but it's just that it's angled. I like to go in with the darker shade, the darker highlighting shade, simply because I'm dark skinned. But sometimes, you know, when I'm wanting a little bit of extra pop, then I'll go for this shade. But generally, when I'm going for a natural look, I use this shade. So not too much, and I just dust it on my cheekbones just like that. Sometimes I'll do a C. Same on the other side. A little really does go a long way with these products. I feel like I've been blessed with like products that are really good in terms of color payoff and pigment. And then of course my nose, sometimes I do that just a little bit, not too much. And then I don't have my setting spray with me, so what I do is I use the Swiitch Beauty Superhero Spray again. So if it feels too wet after spraying, then I like to go in with my beauty blender. Not on the side that has powder hair, on the clean side. And then I just pat it in. So if I'm going for a really natural look, then I will just throw on some eyeliner and mascara, and also go in with my signature lip combo, which is a dark brown eyeliner, lip liner rather, and some gloss. So I'm going to do that off screen real quick, and then I'm going to show you all the final look. Alright darlings, so this is the final look. This is my final signature everyday look, and this is how I achieve my base that a lot of you have been asking me about. I feel so cliche saying that, but a lot of people have been asking me about it on the reel. So if you enjoyed this video, if you found a few tips that you maybe didn't know about before, let me know down below in the comment section, and you will find all of the products that I used in the description box down below. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe down below, click the notification bell and next to the subscribe button so that you're notified every time I post. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and share the VULO gospel. I will see you tomorrow with another bomb diggity ass tutorial.